Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and in this video today, guys, I'm going to show you a really neat prep called the Stove Lite. Now, this is a thermal powered light, and I'm going to take you in here in just a little bit, show you at nighttime how this unit works. But it doesn't have to be completely dark out for you to need to use this either. You could be in a house with a storm coming and you need light. This, set on a heat source of a wood stove, can give you the light you need and to use an emergency. So let's check this out now. So to begin our adventure exploring the Stove Lite, I'm going to open this up here. It was shipped really good. Oh yeah, that's packed really good, protected. Alright, so here we go. It's the Stove Lite, and it is made at Vermont, USA. Always a pleasure to pick up something that's made in our country. I get so sick of made in China. Stove Lite, there's the logo on it. Everything's really nicely made, and I think it's great that they captured the 1800s style in a light and brought it to a modern use. That's just brilliant. The bottom here, we can see where it sets on the heat and then passes forward and then moves on up to the cooling fan here, it looks like. Yep. And then we've got where that comes on up, and I'm pretty sure this is the vent off area as well, so it kind of lets the air circulate out, kind of not wasting any space on it. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of the packing off this, and we'll get it onto a stove and test it out. Now, one note to make about this is the basic model that Shane was speaking with me. He told me that this is like the base model that they're going to have. They're going to have an upgraded model coming out, I think, the best of my knowledge, if I looked at their kickstart, that you can check in the video description below. On the kickstart thing they've got going right now, they're going to help to get the Stove Lite to the point where that they've got a USB attachment so you can charge things off of it. It has a dimmer knob that you can make the light brighter or dimmer. I mean, just a lot more options in with it, and you can pick it up and take it on the go, so you don't have to just leave it on the heat surface for it to produce light. That way you can charge it on the heat surface and then take it with you and then set it on a cooling plate, or let it cool down and then set it down just wherever, and then you can use it to recharge things, use the light on the go, and it's just awesome. So anyway, for the time being though, we'll check out the basic one here, and we'll go get this on a wood stove here just shortly. Now, just real quickly right now, before the unit really gets good and going, as you can see, the fan is just starting to try to turn, kind of like what my solar air heater does right before it just gets the full amount of power. So this unit is actually starting to get hot enough to start to produce some power, and you can see the light coming on and everything. But I'm waiting for it to really get going here in a minute and get really bright where that we can see the stove top and all that going. So, as one of the tests that we're going to do with using the Stove Lite is, a lot of people may be like, well, can you pick the thing up and take it away from the heat source and it still work for a while? Or is it just got to sit there all the time to make the thermal power? Well, thankfully, the heat is radiated enough through the plate below that it still helps the Peltier make power. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to test this a couple different times to see. So right now, I'm going to walk around and check. We're starting out right at, we're going to go for a minute. So I'm going to take and walk around. I'm going to take on a little tour of my backyard. We'll go check out the gasifier that I'm working on rebuilding right now. Now you just imagine that if you're walking through your house or you're needing to check on, your prepper property or whatever you have, whatever the situation may be, and my dogs are going nuts in the backyard, you could see enough, at least I would say a good 6-7 feet in front of you whenever you turn it the way that you're wanting it, and it's not made an effort to get any dimmer. The cooling fan is still going good, and so I'm going to do a couple more tests like this and see how long it'll last. So guys, I just want to show you right now, this is, I've had this off the fireplace now for, it's going on 4 minutes, and the temperature that is on the plate on the bottom, it's had enough radiating through that it's keeping the light plenty bright enough that I can go about. And it's almost a full moon. It's that time of the month, it's almost a full moon, so obviously it's kind of brighter outside anyway. But as far as the light output on this thing, it does great, and the fan is still blowing coolant across the heat sink. And so if you needed to pick this up off of your wood stove and go somewhere and check something and come back, the great thing about it is it's actually holding enough heat in the bottom of it that it's still producing light. So I mean, it's not just a novelty prep, you know, it actually has function to it. And they're the Stove Lite, that the upgrade to it that they're going to do to the Stove Lite coming up with the other model where that you have a charging port and other things, that's going to be really nifty. But it is now, yeah, over 4 minutes, going on 5, so you can walk to where you need to go and come back, still set it on the wood stove, and it's useful. Okay, so this is my last test I'm going to do. The last one I done, I let it go for about 4 or 5 minutes. It still didn't cut out, so I set it back on the fireplace, and now I'm letting this run now. Hung it above my vegetables and stuff, and actually just some 411 here. As you can see, when you put it to the area that you want, you can still get light. My camera just does not do justice to the ability to be able to see well with this, but like I said, I can see about 6-7 feet up front of me easily with the Stove Lite. And the great thing about the other model that they're going to have instead of the basic is just the fact that you can charge up the battery. The thing's already still got enough heat to make light, but then you have the battery on board, so then you're able to turn the light on after the heat itself is gone and then keep light going. That's just going to be epic. And I will post right here the time that it lasted for. When it finally went out, I'll put the post right there, and we'll move on. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. The Stove Lite is an awesome prep to have. I totally encourage you to get one. Like I said earlier, I can't wait for them to get the one that's rechargeable that you can take on the go. This one holds the heat to keep the light going after you take it off the wood stove, walk around with it. This may potentially save your life one day, no doubt about it. And whenever the lights don't turn on no more because the power company ain't there for you, your wood stove can turn the light on for you with using the Stove Lite. So until we see you again here at 7 Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.